On a related note, federal authorities are battling to keep drones out of World Cup venues, already spotting 19 drones in no-fly zones during World Cup matches, seizing 14 of those drones while issuing people criminal citations.
I think we've been seeing on a world stage with Russia and Ukraine showing the world how effective drones can be used as weapons. And so if we have the opportunity to keep the public safe and all the community members in the Puget Sound safe from that type of attack, we're going to try and do that.
Let's bring in Nicole Parker. She is a former FBI special agent and a Fox News contributor. Nicole, thanks for being with us. Some of these drones are scary. I mean, they're not just the little hobby things that, you know, a teenager might fly. These can carry some serious payloads, some of them.
Right. And John, drones are a very serious threat right now. And, you know, there are many individuals that are, you know, reveling and enjoying the World Cup. And they just think, oh, I'm just going to capture some really cool photos and images and videos. Not a good idea, because right now, law enforcement sees a drone as a potential national security threat. So whether or not you have nefarious intentions or not, you will be treated as such, because they can take absolutely no chances. And you make a very valid point. These drones are very dangerous because they could potentially carry, you know, explosives, as we heard about the threats in the UFC 250 fight from last weekend. That was foiled, thankfully. You know, hazardous materials could be dropped. It could intercept with broadcasting. It could be dangerous to the actual players, those in the audience. And so they do pose a serious threat. And so right now is a time that if you have a drone, my advice is to be safe and do not operate that drone anywhere near a World Cup event, whether it's the game or a fan zone. Both of those are restricted airspace areas. FAA has very detailed information. If you have a drone and you are thinking about flying one, make sure that you check with the FAA first, because right now there are temporary restricted fly zones. And if you are caught with a drone, there will be a very serious consequence. Potentially your drone will be seized. I would plan on that. There could be serious fines, both civil and criminal, and you could potentially face federal criminal charges.
Yeah.
And so they're not messing around. It could be extremely dangerous. They will take no chances. And the FBI now has a technology that they can actually intercept drones, and they can safely bring it down, identify who the pilot is. They will find you, and you will be held accountable.
Yeah, federal jail time is nothing to sneeze at. The director of the FBI echoes some of what you're saying about their abilities in this regard. Listen to Kash Patel.
The critical component that we at the FBI have been focusing down on is teaching our state and local partners how we handle drones and how they can handle drones with us. And then collectively, it's a force multiplier to have thousands of people out there, tens of thousands of police officers out there looking at the drone threat that's coming in as it comes in, because it's so quick and dynamic. We also have developed technology to disable the drones literally mid-flight. And that's one of our critical pieces of equipment that we've given to our state and local partners through the training.
I think there are a lot of people out there, though, who just say, oh, it's my drone. I'm going to have some fun with it. I'm going to go take some, you know, high altitude pictures over the stadium. And they don't understand why the FBI is so concerned. What do you say to those people, Nicole?
You can do that if you would like, but you will face the consequence. And I don't think that's a great idea, because there will be no messing around right now, especially because of the last threats that they've foiled just recently, and because of the potential danger that these can cause. We see the, you know, in the FBI, I can tell you that I was in the FBI Miami back in 2020 when the Super Bowl took place here in Miami, and we had counter surveillance drone operations going on then. And the technology has gotten even better now in 2026. Law enforcement is on top of it. I'm not at the liberty to discuss because of, you know, sensitive investigative techniques that we use, but they will hunt you down. They will find you. Do not operate your drone. You will lose your drone. You will face a fine, and you could potentially face federal prison time. And I will continue to say that. They will take no chances.
Yeah, it was just a week ago that the president had that UFC event at the White House, and people were busted for, apparently the plot was to send a bunch of drones in to distract law enforcement, get people running, and then they were going to start taking, you know, sniper shots at those who are trying to run away from the White House.
That's exactly right. I was actually at that UFC 250 event myself, and we all know that wherever President Trump is, there are nefarious individuals in this world who want to take him down. That will not be tolerated. You will be stopped. And thank goodness that plot was stopped by the Secret Service, by the FBI, and local law enforcement, and most importantly, the parents who turned in their child and said, I believe that my child is up to something not good. They reported it to law enforcement, and then they got the feds involved, and now there are people in custody, and I do believe there will be more arrests taking place. But again, their plot, like you said, it was involving drones.
Yeah.
Explosive devices were planned to be attached. They were going to disseminate them, and then it was going to cause the crowd to go into a scurry. And then they had a whole other plot after that, shooting snipers in place and to cause mass evacuations, cause death and destruction. We're in America. That will not be tolerated. We will not live in fear. We'll enjoy the World Cup. We will enjoy celebrating our 250th birthday in America. Nefarious individuals, you will be held accountable.
Nicole Parker, former FBI agent. Nicole, thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.